Hi everybody. How are you doing today? It's kind of a dreary day outside. It's a little bit rainy here in Chicagoland, but I actually kind of love it. I actually feel like, oh, it's just nice to be cozy. And I'm inside, so I don't have to run anywhere. So that makes it nice as well. So hopefully, if you do have to be out and about, you're okay with whatever the weather is in your area. But welcome. I'm Mary from Rivers Journey Wellness. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit about moon cycles, something that I'm super excited about, and just understanding a little bit more about why I'm excited about moon cycles. So, I am going to light just a little bit of sage, and we're definitely going to get to Reiki and a little bit of meditation. I know we weren't able to do that last time. I was a little crunched for time, and I had things that I wanted to kind of talk about. But let's just settle into this energy. No matter when you're watching this, just know that energy really doesn't follow time, space. So whenever you're watching this, it's the perfect time for you to be here and to be receiving. I just like to start with a little bit of sage or something, burning something, whatever it might be, just to clear whatever energy. We pick up energy from other people, from experiences. I feel like the grocery store is like one of my arch nemesis, I don't know, nemesis, because I always feel like I pick up something while I'm there. So I have to do a little bit of protection before I go there. Otherwise, I come back in kind of a funky mood. So just know when you're around other humans, you can pick stuff up. Not to say that other humans are bad, but you can pick up energy. Usually, it's not somebody trying to put their energy on you, but you just, if you're sensitive, you just sort of pick those things up. So it's just nice to cleanse and clear, just to kind of have that, just that fresh energy, that energy that's just yours, that there's nothing else that's kind of encroaching on your energy, so to speak. I had picked, this is just kind of a random thing. I had picked a crystal to work with for today, and it was it's amazonite, but it was funny because I didn't have my contacts in yet. I had my glasses on, and I picked this. Well, you might not be able to see it very well, but I picked this up, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. And I've been holding on to it when I was meditating this morning, and now I'm looking at it with my contacts, and no, it's just a rock that I had found on one of my walks when we were on vacation in northern Wisconsin. So whatever this is, whatever kind of rock or crystal this is, it's just some sort of quartz. I don't know what it is, but it looks very similar to. I don't know if you'll be able to see. This is a little bit more blue. You can't really see it in my video or in my camera. But I just love that is what's here with us. So maybe we needed to be grounded to nature or really feeling connected to earth. I don't know. But that's kind of funny to me. And I had my glasses on, so I should have been able to see. But whatever, I wasn't. So I absolutely love following the lunations, the moon cycle. I got into that a few years ago. I'm sure if you know me or have been following me, you probably already know this, that it was something that I started doing pre-COVID. And then it's something that I've continued. I've always been interested in astrology, and I guess I'm a student. I don't think I know very much. I still feel like I'm learning. I learn something every month, I feel like. But it's interesting to me when I'm working. So one of my practices, private practice therapist, and in that, I always hear clients come in for the week and they're like, I don't know why this is happening to me. I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way. And it'll just be a bunch of people feeling the same thing or experiencing the same thing within their life. And I'm like, oh, I can kind of see what's going on, because the new moon's coming up or full moon's coming up, where we just went through a retrograde or something's moving direct again. And so it's an interesting way of having that observation that it's not just me. It's not just something that I'm experiencing. There's nothing wrong with me, for having some trials or feeling a little bit of stress. There might be something else coming into play, something that's creating that experience for you, or maybe showing up for you at that time as like a lesson, something to learn from, something to be aware of, something to notice, something to kind of tap on your shoulder and remind you, you might want to pay attention to this. So that's why I love the following the lunations. And in the Reiki and coaching practice that I have, we talk about it all the time. I think sometimes my therapy clients are like, what are you talking about? That's crazy stuff. But I don't think it is, obviously. But I think it's, just something interesting to know about. And like anything, take what resonates, throw away the rest, right? It doesn't have to be like written in stone for you. And always know that you always have willpower. So you can always make a choice about, is this something that I'm going to heed? Is this something that I'm going to pay attention to? Or, is this something that I don't feel is related to me? So it's not like it's going to be you're destined to experience this thing. But I think it just gives a nice broad brush stroke. There we go. Broad brush stroke about like, what should I be aware of? And for me, that actually helps, me personally, that helps with sort of soothing some of my worry or even some like anxiety about what's happening. It gives it a little bit of more of a context, so I can understand it a little bit better. So hopefully that is something that you're interested in as well. If not, this might not be very very informative for you. But we do have a new moon in Libra coming up. It is going to be the 14th. So that's Saturday, right? Yeah. So tomorrow, if you're watching this today on Friday, Friday the 13th, which actually is lucky. It's not unlucky. That's a whole nother story, but I will just say 13 is associated with divine feminine. And I would say that there's nothing unlucky about feminine energy. So um, that's a conversation for another day. But so we have this new moon in Libra coming up, and it's also going to be a solar eclipse. And this is a type of solar eclipse that does happen. It's not like it's a once in a blue moon type of thing, but it's kind of a cool one. It's called the Ring of Fire, because the way that the Earth and the Sun, moon's going to go right in between them, and the way that whatever degree that is, I don't know what the degree is going to you'll just see that illumination if you're in whatever tract it is to see it. I don't think I'll see it I'm in the Midwest. I don't think I'll see it Midwest of the United States. But if you go and want to look at that, make sure that you have some sort of eye protection. So that is going to be happening as well tomorrow. And so usually new moons are new beginnings. It's a time to think about a fresh start, thinking about like, where do I want to plant those seeds? Sometimes it is about taking action or starting to think about, how do I put that plan into place? And when we have the eclipse, sometimes the eclipse sort of like pushes us. It gives us momentum. It almost pushes us into that next state. And sometimes not even through a lot of effort or energy, we're just poof somewhere forward in our life. So this one will be a little bit different though. So I want to encourage you to, again, check in with yourself, see where your energy's at, see if you need to take some time to rest. And if you don't feel like, I'm going to read through some stuff that I've written down about the new moon. And if it doesn't feel like it brings you any clarity, or you really understand, like, how does that apply to me? Usually we talk about setting an intention for the new moon. If it feels very like fuzzy or unclear or murky, like don't push yourself to create a new intention for yourself, or setting an intention for this time. Just wait a few days, maybe a week, and then set it. If something starts to seem like it's a little bit more clear, like what my next step is. So that's one thing to kind of notice and recognize as well. So I have a bunch of stuff written. I have it written here, and I'm going to pull it up on my computer just so I am not constantly looking to my side, but I will be looking over. So with so what I do with the lunations, it sort of gives me, like I said, a framework, something to think about. Is this a time to rest? Is this time to move? Is this a time to plan? Is this a time to celebrate? Like, what's really going on? Is it a time to just release and let go of stuff? And it obviously lunations happen every month. So every month we have that opportunity to kind of work with the different energies. And sometimes it's something very specific, I feel, for myself, and it can be a very big global thing. It could be something that I maybe have been working on for a while, and it feels like it's either coming to a close, coming to an ending, or feel like it's starting to actually begin. And so it might be something that is just for this month that I'm working on. It could be something that I'm working for, in my life, that next phase for myself, that next season for myself. So it really depends on you and individually what resonates for you and how you want to work with that. A lot of times with new moon and full moons, we do rituals, which I, of course, love. So there are new moon rituals that you can do, and I do have a handout on that if you ever want to learn about how to create that new moon ritual. So I'm pretty sure I can put a link in the description later for you. But basically, if we're thinking about this as like a new beginning, what we're wanting to start for ourselves, um, kind of means that something has completed, right? And it's interesting because the full moon is always that like letting go, that releasing part, the ending part. And so we have a few weeks for that to kind of settle, the dust to settle, and then we're able to start fresh with our new beginnings. When so that's in general. So when it's in a particular sign, which it always is, then we kind of know what we're working with, what we can see the new beginning in, what area can we see that. So I wrote down, so some themes with the new moon in Libra would be creating balance and harmony within our life. So this is a good opportunity to look at like what hasn't been working for me, what has been out of whack, out of balance. How do we create more harmony in our life? I just was writing, so I do a lot of the things that I recommend people do, I actually do myself. So I was meditating this morning, and then I was journaling a little bit about just what had come to me during the meditation. And it was about harmonizing my life and creating a rhythm that really works for me. And I think about this often, and I I feel like sometimes I have great ideas, and then the implementation, it sort of like goes out the window. And I have a little bit of ooh shiny moments where then I get distracted and I focus on something else. So if you've been thinking about like how your life has been working for you, how it's been flowing for you, if you've been struggling with creating balance and harmony for yourself, this might be a time just to start thinking about that. Or maybe you've thought about that and you actually have said something to yourself about like, I would like more harmony or balance in my life. This could be a time also to have like some practical steps, some really simple steps of like, what can I do? What would be the first thing that I could do to create harmony, right? What would be the first thing that I could do to create balance? So starting with just little bits and then building on that. So Venus is very active right now as well. And so it's like permission, giving ourselves permission to enjoy life, to really I don't know, engage peacefully with our life, to enjoy all the things that are available to us, all the pleasures of life, to tap into beauty and to really be able to. I like to think also about like abundance, tapping into prosperity and abundance with Venus. So anything that feels like I want to give myself that permission, I want to release some of my weird hangups, limiting thoughts or beliefs about lack or scarcity or about what's available to me when it comes to like the pleasures of life. This would be kind of a good time to do that as well. One of the things that's going to be interesting is there's a huge focus on relationships, whether it's personal relationships, like intimate relationships, significant other type of thing, family relationships, or collaborations, work relationships. So if things haven't felt like they've been in balance within relationships, or if it's been a struggle to hold healthy boundaries, this is going to be one of those times where you really are being asked to look at that relationship. And here's the part that kind of stinks. Look at how your behavior has been impacting that. Is there something that you've been doing that has been able to continue that perpetuation of like unhealthy boundaries or unhealthy expectations for other people? Or even not holding people accountable. So this will be a time to kind of look at that and think about, how do I want to create change within those areas? It also can be a time for forming new relationships, forming new healthy boundaries, having different communication, different dynamics within relationships of all kinds. Again, there's a little bit of like a collaborative energy with this. And so maybe there's going to be like a formation of that. I will say personally, this couldn't have come at like, I'm always amazed. I know I shouldn't be, but I'm always amazed at like how things like shake out. I had just been talking with somebody professionally about having a collaboration and working with that person professionally. And something had happened that's totally not related to me at all, with somebody else that we know mutually. And that sort of ended their relationship, their collaboration. And then that ended my collaboration with the other person. And at first I was pretty like, what is happening? Why is this happening? Right. And then I had to like pull myself back and think about like, how do I engage in collaborations with other people? Whether, again, it's personal or professional. This just happened to be professional. And when one of those doors closes, how open am I to seeing that next door open? And I think for me, I get a little bit of like, ooh, no, if that door's shut, no door will ever open again, right? So I have to like calm myself. I have to get myself in a state of just feeling grounded, letting go. And then I can kind of see, okay, there's actually a lot of possibilities. And sometimes the thing that we think is going to be the best for us ends up not being the best for us. And we don't get that opportunity, or we don't get that relationship, or we don't get that job, or whatever it might be. We don't get that house. And we're like, oh, that was the thing that I wanted. And then something better comes along, right? Something that the universe was like, I heard you putting out that call that you wanted this thing. It might not be that, but it's this, right? So don't feel discouraged if a door closes, something ends, especially in regards to a relationship or a collaboration, because maybe something is just around the corner that needs space to open, right? So this is another big message for this time. Because I have a big sigh, because we're in the season we are, because we're in autumn, we've just had a lot of push, a lot of energy. We've been very busy. But now it's time to start thinking about like, what did I accomplish? Did I accomplish what I set out to accomplish? Did I achieve the goals that I wanted to? Sometimes it's not about goals. Sometimes things just spontaneously happen that we're like, hey, I'm kind of proud of myself, for doing that. Or I'm excited that this happened for me. Or, I did something that wasn't in my comfort zone and it ended up being not as scary as I thought it was going to be. So this is a time to start reflecting, and that's all you have to do to reflect. The celebration of accomplishments can just be reflection. It can also be journaling, in those times that it feels like, crud has hit the fan and nothing's going right for you. If you have journaled on those accomplishments, you can go back and review those. And it sort of gives you a more realistic perspective of like, oh yeah, bad stuff can happen, but good stuff does too, right? So this is a time to celebrate accomplishments. And we're going to think about, for some people, it's going to be easing, like letting off the brake, or letting off the accelerator, pumping the brake on starting new projects. For others, it may feel like this is the energy that I needed to push me forward into starting new projects. So, again, sort of trust where you're at. If you're not really sure, just take some quiet time and reflect again, or journal, or meditate, or go walk in nature, do something where you can sort of have that clarity of like, where am I at in my life with this right now? Um, this is like I said, this is a collaborative time for new relationships or new partnerships. So make sure that you're connecting with other people, thinking about that harmony and balance though. Yeah, do I have enough time for myself? How am I nurturing myself? This again with autumn, but also with this new moon, there's going to be a big emphasis on making sure that you're taking care of your own needs, and especially your physical needs, whether it's diet, exercise, sleep, whether you have some habits that aren't super healthy, smoking, drinking, drugs, that sort of thing. Do I need to curb that, or look at that in a different way? Why am I relying on that kind of stuff? That kind of reflection is really helpful right now. And then you can create that plan of like, what do I want to do? Healthy habits and patterns. It's interesting because we just have, we kind of have a big planet that was in retrograde that is starting to go direct. And it was all about like our shadow, our like toxic habits and patterns, behaviors, that sort of stuff coming up during that retrograde. We were really looking at that, or we maybe had new awareness about it. And so now that it's going direct, it's like, okay, so I am releasing those things. I am moving forward into this new beginning. So I'm not continuing those old habits or patterns. So just kind of thinking about how you can bring that into your life. So when people wonder about why does Mary say that there's wisdom in the lunations? This is why, because it's stuff for you to think about. Sometimes it may not feel like it applies to you. Sometimes it may not feel like it's something that you actively have to work on, but it just gives you a new awareness. You get a little bit out of your own head, get out of your own way, and start to think about other things that maybe wasn't on your radar. But like I said, when I in it's usually my counseling sessions, but it also can be with the Reiki and coaching clients. If it's so similar stories, right? It might be different areas of their lives, different degrees of what they're experiencing, different perception of what's happening for each individual, because everybody is uniquely their own, right? But I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so the themes of the new moon. So it's always, or for this week at least. So it's always interesting to me. But it also, when you feel frustrated, when you feel stuck, when you feel like, why is this coming up for me again? This is one of those times where it does help bring you outside of that introspective bubble that's like, I'm bad, or I did it wrong, or I'm not getting it. It sort of frees up some of that energy so you can really just look at from a higher perspective of what's going on. So that is a little bit. I wanted to talk less. I don't know if that's possible for me all the time, but I just wanted to talk less about that. So we had time for Reiki. So we had time for meditation. So you just had time for you to relax and to go within and to maybe have a little bit of that peace, a little bit of that harmony, a little bit of that balance, and just tapping into, for me, downtime, being relaxed, feeling grounded, centered, and balanced. That is quality time, number one. That is a pleasure in life where I can be fully present. Um, and so this is one of those opportunities where you can practice that. And if you're at work or you're busy, you're on the go and you can't do it live with me now, that's okay. You can, whenever you have time, you can replay this and really just take time for yourself. As long as you're taking time for yourself, that is the key. That is just so, so important. So if there's any comments or questions, let me know. I am going to, we already saged, I'm going to light a candle. Again, there's a little bit of symbolism. There's a little bit of symbolism in everything I think we do, but This in particular, we're going to work with my, whatever this is, whatever um, Vilas County, Wisconsin quartz. I don't know what this is. We're working with that, but then I also do have an actual piece. Well, it's funny to me. It may not be funny to anyone else. It's funny to me that that's what I picked out. So if there's no questions or no comments, I will just go ahead and light this. I am going to set an intention for myself for this new moon. The candle's kind of flickering. I don't want to tip it too much. I'm going to set an intention for myself. It does feel like a time of new beginnings for myself. It does feel like a time of new beginnings for collaboration, not only for work, but for personal. I'm happily married, so it's not it's not that kind of a relationship. But I do have some friendships or new relationships that I feel have been deepening, that I feel very connected to some individuals, and I'm excited about the possibilities of a relationship moving forward. So I'm going to set just an intention. It's specific to me, but you can always do a general one if you don't know what you want to set your intention on. Again, if you don't have that clarity, if it feels like I have no idea what I'm working on, it's totally good. You don't have to set an intention for yourself right now. But for today, for right now, whenever you're watching this, your intention would be, or could be, I shouldn't say it has to be, could be that you're open to receiving, the Reiki energy, or you're open to receiving messages, signs, synchronicities, something that'll bring you that clarity. But for right now, maybe that intention is just, my intention is to be open to receiving whatever the energy is for my highest good. So I'm going to put that to the side. And so I invite you, if you can, get comfortable, seated, laying down. I meditate, mostly I meditate sitting up. When I was trained in meditation, I did go through training for meditation. And, my instructor was very, very, you have to sit upright. Your spine has to be straight. Your spine does have to be straight. But, right, I had my legs crossed in my seat, right? And so, very particular. I'm not that particular. You could be laying down. You can be, you can be moving if it feels too difficult. You can have earbuds in and be walking with this and have it be a walking meditation. Jill says, happy lucky Friday the 13th. Yes, I agree. I had a new person contact me about, what? I can't wait to hear about your possible job collaboration. That's super exciting. Not sure it will lead to anything, but excited for being open to the energy. Absolutely. And I think it sort of gives us that inspiration that we need, that like, yes, there are those possibilities. There are those opportunities. And the really cool thing about this is, even if it doesn't lead to anything, we sort of build up that self-esteem. It boosts us, that like, I do have value, I do have worth, I do have something to bring to another team or another job or another whatever. That piece is super exciting for me. And knowing that, like, I now get to be in a place where I can pick and choose, is this opportunity right for me? Right? Yeah, spot on. Yeah, I love it. I'm excited for you. So hopefully, no matter what, it's a win, right? No matter what, either you learn something about them, you learn something about yourself, you feel that boost of confidence and excitement about possibilities. I feel like when we're excited and we put that energy out into the world, like, yeah, send me the stuff, right? I feel like the universe is like, okay, I'm going to send you the good stuff, right? When we're grumbling and we're like, oh, there's nothing out there, there's nothing I want to do, or I don't even know what I want to do, we get a whole bunch of like confusing mixed emotions. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, I'm excited. Well, this will be perfect, because this will get you ready to be open to any of that. Either the collaboration energy or working on creating peace and harmony for yourself. There is a lot also with communication. So how am I putting out my words to others? Am I using my words to distort or to manipulate, or am I using it angrily? And so we do have a little bit of backpedaling of like, okay, I do have to look at like what I'm putting out there communication wise. Is it coming? Sometimes it's hard to bring communication from a loving place. I get that, but if that's where it's coming from, that's when it gets received very well, right? So if you are somewhere that you can get comfortable, I invite you to get comfortable sitting up, laying down, walking, totally good. Doesn't matter to me and doesn't really probably matter to the energy. Setting that intention just to be open to receiving. I have a little bit of oil. So I do have like chakra oils at my office, and I'm not at I'm at my home office. But this oil is, it's earthy. It's for grounding, but then it's also, I feel like it's like all purpose. It's kind of like sage spray where it's all purpose. So it'll help to ground you, but then it's also going to help you center, help you balance, help you recognize your place in this world, in this universe. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of it to my hands. And just take a moment, if you're comfortable shutting your eyes, if you're somewhere that you're able to, just take a moment to close your eyes and start taking some deep breaths. Simply in through the nose, out through the mouth. Helps us to start slowing down our mind. Go back into the body. It's time to be fully present for yourself. And I'm going to invite in your Reiki guides. You have Reiki guides even if you don't know it. Your spirit guides. Any animal allies. I feel like the birds have been bringing me messages all week. My ancestors or ascended masters. Angels or goddesses. All for your highest good. You don't have to hold that intention. But if you want to repeat it again to yourself, and then release it. Imagine that just floating like a cloud in the sky, or a leaf in the breeze. Just imagining somebody else is going to take care of it. Somebody else. I'm going to pull this a little closer. If you believe in a higher power, the universe, spirit, whatever it might be, it's just going to take that intention for you. Let's start at your crown chakra. It's the top of your head. So I don't keep hitting it. Just opening your connection to the universe. Sometimes we can get really stuck in feeling isolated, feeling lost in the world. And opening up that crown just allows us to receive that connection again. reminding us that we're supported and loved in all that we do. Just going to clear away any limiting beliefs that we are alone. You're not. I mean, proof is you're with me right now, so you're definitely not alone. Move down to the third eye. Sometimes my third eye tingles or I feel pressure when I feel it opening. You want it open, you want it balanced and cleared so you can take in intuitive messages. Or when thoughts and feelings come up about your new beginnings, you want to be able to put that into action. Sometimes we receive clarity from the third eye for that. And we're discounting what we sense, what we feel. Moving down to the throat chakra, the center of the throat. Remember, this is a time for clear communication, time to look at our communication. I'm going to use the actual crystal that I wanted to use, that I was drawn to using this morning, to clear that out. So you can communicate. But also so you can receive, so you can hear and understand. Say to little kids a lot, use your words. I want you to be able to use your words for others, but also for yourself. Thinking about what your needs are, how to verbalize that. Sometimes when we're thinking about our needs, it gets a little caught in our throat, a little wonky. I'm going to go down to the heart chakra. It's the center of your chest. We need to make sure that we're sending ourselves compassion and love. We're not being too hard on ourselves. Maybe this is a time you just need to be gentle and kind with yourself, just understanding and loving. I know it sounds like a goofy thing, but just being the best friend that you can to yourself. Sometimes it feels strange to send ourselves compassion, to send ourselves love, because it's not how we were raised or not what we think people are expecting. It's a practice just like anything else. But you're lovable and you deserve love. Unconditional love at that, right? Moving down to the solar plexus, so just a little bit above the belly button. This is your personal power. This is going to get activated with the new moon. And ring of fire. Think about that fire in your belly, right? How do you use your personal power? Do you use it to bulldoze other people? Do you use it aggressively? Do you stand firm? Have your own personal sovereignty? That balance and harmony can also come depending on how we're using our personal power. It's a hard one. But that balance of what's the most loving thing that I can do for myself in this moment, balanced with what's the most loving thing that I can do for the other person in this moment. Sometimes they're not the same thing. Sometimes we have to choose ourselves. Not out of anger or resentment, but from that place of love. And then moving down to the sacral chakra, so a little bit below the belly button. This is going to get activated too because Venus is here. So giving myself permission to enjoy life, to enjoy life's pleasures, to explore my sensuality and my sexuality, to be vulnerable and receive. There's wisdom in knowing when it's safe to do that. Knowing that you're worthy of joy. And then let's go down to the root. So the root chakra's at the tip of your spine, the bottom of your back. But I'm going to have you focus on your feet. Just imagine feeling the firmness of the floor, firmness of the earth, feeling steady, feeling stable. Your feet have taken you so many places and so many adventures. Where do you trust them to take you next? What is that first step on that new beginning for you? Even if you can't see around the bend yet, there's a path for you. And just trust that you'll know when it's time to just run at full speed along your path. When it's time to slow to a shuffle and be cautious. And when it's time just to sit and rest. Put your feet up and just restore your energy. Just allowing the body to receive what it needs to from Reiki. Allowing yourself to get excited for any new beginnings that are coming. Giving yourself that permission to reclaim your personal power. Whether it's in a relationship or a collaboration. Whether it's to move towards harmony and balance within your life. Just recognizing and owning your personal power. It's a time to open to the possibility of abundance. To receive abundantly and to be prosperous. Well, you can be prosperous in so many different ways. Whatever abundance and prosperity you want to invite into your life. Hopefully some of it is related to health. Anything that you've been not doing for yourself that you need to do so that you can be your healthiest. Anything you've been putting off on starting. Anywhere you felt stuck with health. This might be a time to loosen it up. Loosen up that stuck energy. can imagine seeing that ring of fire in the sky. Most of the sun blotted out, except for the circle. You can imagine stepping through that, just shedding and releasing, letting the sun blaze away anything that hasn't been working for you. And when you come through on the other side, feeling like it is a fresh start, it is a rebirth of some sense. A new beginning. A new beginning that you don't have to push or exert, but just flow, just receive, follow the signs and synchronicities that appear for you, knowing that the universe is co-creating with you and has your back. As easy as it is just to take a step forward. I invite you to take a deep breath in. Just release anything else. You can send it down your grounding cord or imagine it evaporating in the sun and that ring of fire. Just letting it go. And when you're ready in your own time, you can open your eyes. So I'm excited for the lunation. I'm excited for the new moon in Libra. I'm excited for possibilities. There's some stuff that I have to look at that I need to work on always, right? We always have to be working on something. I feel like you don't always have to be, but there is some stuff. If you find a treasure that you pick up on your path, just know that it might come back. It might be an important treasure. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad that was helpful. And I am launching my Soul Journey group coaching as a membership. I have opened the registration. It's going to be a small group. I only want just a few women in it because otherwise I feel like you don't get that personal touch that I want to provide. But we're going to be blending a whole bunch of different modalities. We're going to be using Reiki, of course, and guided meditation to heal, to cleanse, to release, to balance whatever we need to, whatever we're going to have some themes that we're working with. So whatever comes up for us within that might be uniquely yours that needs to just be healed or cleared or balanced. Sometimes replenished. Sometimes we're so depleted, we need to take some new energy, some fresh energy, just to revitalize ourselves. So whatever you're needing, we're also going to be doing live group coaching. We're going to be working with the new moon, the full moon energies. We're going to be working with kind of the thinning of the veil at the end of the month, the end of October. We're also going to be working with those themes of energy. If you're familiar with what I was doing with the 5-day healing immersion, we're going to be working with honoring your wise woman. We're going to be working with connecting to our ancestors, to heal ancestral wounds, but then also to take ancestral wisdom and move that forward in our life. We're going to do a little bit of, again, some chakra healing, some chakra clearing and balancing. We're going to work with self-care, self-love, and self-compassion because this is really important for this time. It's important always, but it's really important this time of the year that we start a practice of that. So we have that in place for winter. And then we're also going to work on balancing and rebalancing, which is fabulous because that is what this new moon is. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can go to my website, get a little more information. I can put the link into the description. It is open. Registration is open, like I said. You have your choice of monthly, seasonally, or yearly. It's not one of those things where you just keep paying out each month and you're like, oh, I forgot to cancel that this month. It won't be like that. I hate when that happens. I do that all the time. I forget to cancel stuff. So I didn't want to do that to other people because I know how frustrating that can be. So if you do seasonal, it's the seasonal energy. And then we move on to winter. You always have the option just to do one season or to do multiple. Depends on, I know, schedules and availabilities as well. So I'm super excited about that. We'll do, of course, oracle card readings with that. And then we will have, there's tips and strategies in there. And then I'm going to bring on, I have some kind of cool, I think they're kind of cool friends. So when we talk about collaborations, I'm also going to be bringing on some of my friends that can share their wisdom, their modality, whatever they do within their practice or with their clients that can be beneficial for you. So I'm super excited for this. So if it's something that you think you'd be interested in, if you've been looking for a community or hoping to find a community where it would be safe to explore some personal growth themes and to do a little bit of healing, a little bit of moving forward, transforming or evolving in your life, this might be it. So usually it's wonderful women. I've always been excited about the people that have come into my life to work with me. I think it's a fabulous community that I have. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm very grateful for that. JL, I'm thankful for you. You're absolutely fabulous. So I love talking with you. And now one of the things that I also like to do for energy, for understanding energy, is pull a card. And I already pulled cards for myself this morning, but it was with the intention that it was just for myself. But I will pull a card now for our collective energy. And if anyone is here, if they want a card, I can pull a card for you. So what do I need to know about this? Either the new moon in Libra, the solar eclipse, just the energy in general of new beginnings. What do I need to know for myself? So if you're interested in that, let me know. Put it in the chat. I will. So I said I was going to pull a card for anybody that watches this. I feel like there's always some little gems that we can I don't know, we can just say like, oh wow, that really applied to me, or oh wow, that was something that like that's a message for me. JL says, thank you, you're a gift. Aw, thanks. I think you're a gift too. I think you're a gift I think everyone's a gift to the world, but you're a gift to the world. I'm so excited for Autumn's. Me too. I'm so excited that you're gonna be part of it. So basically I'm taking all the things that I love, all the things that I love to do, all the things that I love for work and for personal, and I'm putting them into a membership, and I'm just so excited for it because it's a way for me to just have fun and be creative and use the tools that I love and share them with everybody. Aww. So energy, what is the energy that we need to know about this time? I just had made that general new moon solar eclipse, and it says tender embrace, and it's 2 elephants. I love that. Oh, and I see little butterflies. I love that. Tender embrace. So let's read a little bit about. I don't use this deck that often. Sometimes I feel called to. I bought it. I felt very called to buy it, and then I didn't use it very often. So sometimes I go to the book. So sometimes you can go to the book and read, obviously, if you don't know what the card is. Sometimes you can just, whatever first comes to your mind about this, whatever just pops into your head about, what does tender embrace mean to you? What do elephants mean to you? What do little glowing, they're little stars, but then there's also a butterfly. You can always take the imagery, what the messages from that for yourself. You don't have to go to the book. Practice trusting your intuition. But I'm going to go to the book. So it says, put your hand on your heart and breathe deeply, inhaling a sense of gratitude. Yeah, right? Now, how do you feel? Keep doing this, tuning in to the world around you, others you know, and even those you don't know it's hard to extend it out. I know it is. But that's what they're asking. Okay. Can you feel the compassion for them? Compassion is an emotion of tenderness and sensitivity. It is a feeling of benevolence and reverence as you stand witness to the suffering of the world. Now is the time to reduce that pain and focus on compassion in all areas of your life. Today, do something deliberately kind for another. Okay. Even looking a stranger in the eye and smiling can make a world of difference. I love that. The questions to ask now: where do I need to be kinder and gentler? How can I serve, and in what capacity can I be in alignment with the solution to the suffering of the world? Or could it be that you're in need of more compassionate compassionate energy towards yourself? If you spend all of your time in service to others, it's easy to forget about your own needs. When you accept yourself, you bring more loving energy to others. When you send yourself compassion, you also are able to be more compassionate with others. So I think it's important. I think the people pleasers in the world are always like, oh, I've got to do more. I got to give more. People, if you're a people pleaser, if you have any of that within you, I call them helpers, right? Because I feel like teachers, nurses, therapists of any kind, we're all helpers. Women, I think, tend to be more of the helpers, which is, again, for another day. But if you have that helper in you and you're like, oh, I have to be compassionate to others. Yes, but first start with yourself. First, give yourself that loving compassion and then extend it out to other people. You have to start with yourself and then you can give it to other people. And then you can give it freely. Then it doesn't feel like such a chore to give it to somebody else. Today, make a commitment. Oh, okay. I guess I should have kept reading. Today, make a commitment to practicing self-compassion. Okay, fine. Release yourself from the burdens of perfectionism. Allow yourself the grace to be human, and then do the same for others. Okay, she said it better. It's not your job to tell others how to express themselves, even if you don't like the way the world behaves. Today, be kind for no reason at all, and watch miracles arise. I like that. I love this image, though. I love this. I just love this tender embrace. I love that. So be compassionate with yourself. That's one of our themes. Not only is that a theme of the new moon, it's a theme of autumn. So that's super cool. JL, if you're still here, I'm going to give you. I'm going to pull a card for you. If you're not, then you can, hopefully check it later. And again, even though this is for her energy, if there's something that you pull out of it that's like, oh, I needed to hear that, or that was a message for me, know that can be, yay, you're here. Okay, good. That can be a message for you as well. Because there's oftentimes people will get readings and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's like totally me. We're all connected. We're all connected. And so if something's impacting one person, it might be impacting another person. So just know, what do you need to know about this full moon? It's not a full moon. Do I keep saying that? It's a new moon. It's a new moon in Libra. Hopefully I haven't been calling it a full moon. Oh my goodness. What do you need to know about this new moon in Libra? Solar eclipse, or just the energy that's coming up. Sorry, I'm reacting to it before I'm even showing you. I just had it. I'll just show you before I get too excited. Fox spirit, think on your feet. I love this. I love this fox. I just had a dream about fox. And I know if you don't live locally, I know JL does, but if you don't live locally, I have, well, it's not me personally, but there is a river, Fox River, that runs through our area. And so you see a lot of I don't see a lot of living foxes, but I do see a lot of people have like fox statues or stuff with fox on it. Our favorite pizza place has fox in its name. So there's a lot of fox that comes up, which I love because they're so magical. Um, so I'll read you the card. Be alert now, for fox spirit has appeared and you're meant to move swiftly. Let this clever spirit draw out your creativity as you adjust to rapidly changing circumstances with resilience, grace, and astuteness. Fox spirit helps you to think on your feet, using your best judgment and wits to help you slip into a more advantageous situation. Now is not a time to hesitate, but a time for swift action of the mind, a time to think outside of the box and notice the many ways in which you might make a move, aware of your surroundings and always clear on what you deserve. That's important, what you deserve, and wish to co create. Trust that your cleverness, guided by fox spirit, will serve you well. I love this one. Not only do I love this one for you, I obviously love the fox spirit. I love the fox energy. But I like this because remember at the beginning, I was saying some people are going to have to rest and slow down. Some people, it may not be time to come up with those action steps. It just might be like a delayed start, we'll say. And then for some people, it's like, okay, this is the time. I'm ready. This is the time. I'm going to put it into action. If I don't have my plan yet, I'm going to start with some simple steps that I can do at the beginning, just so I'm making a little bit of progress. I'm just getting myself started. But for you, it's saying this is it, right? Think on your feet, tap into your intuition, tap into your cleverness, tap into your ability to discern and see and witness, and then be able to make a decision based on that. That's going to meet your needs, serve you. Because it's for the highest good of everybody. But in this particular case, it's really for you. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Your words are spot on for this week. Oh, yay. I'm glad. Well, this will be really interesting. I had pulled a couple cards for myself this morning, like I said, and one of them, I don't think I have it out. We've worked with her before. I've worked with her before, but I've worked with her within Sacred Circle. If anyone comes to the monthly Sacred Circle, Green Tara, and she's Salvation. I think all three of these decks are from the same person. For Alcolette Baronry, they are. That's funny. And so I just want to. Oops, sorry, we're over. I just want to end on this one because I had a really neat animal for myself. Oh, I thought it was interesting for myself. Interesting energy. And this one, so this was the goddess asked. Of course I asked, which goddess energy is here to support this new moon, or support me with this new moon. And it was green. And so it says, the divine has intended you into being and given you the assignment to explore life through certain perceived limitations. You are meant to learn about life in all its complexities, especially learning about how to be in community with others, which I loved because that was the whole essence of like the new moon and collaboration. Green Tara, a Tibetan goddess, also known as she who saves, says that you will never be alone in life's journey. This compassionate savior goddess of intimate friendship will ensure that the right people will show up for you at the right time, which sort of made me think of when you said you had, sorry, I'm talking to Jay on this one, but anybody, but it sort of made me think of it when you said you had this person contact you and you weren't really sure, if it was going to go anywhere, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. But Green Tara reminds us that reminds you that your needs will always be met. You don't need to know the how, as that is her domain. You just need to trust, and the goddess Green Tara, or Tara, will always use her magic on your behalf. You are safe and secure and always in the care of the divine. And I really like this one. So this was, like I said, I pulled this morning for myself after meditating about this. And I really like this because that collaboration energy, but then also to remind us like we're never alone. And that's why I wanted to start with that crown, opening the crown, connecting us. getting us out of that sense of either feeling isolated or feeling unheard or unwitnessed, that even though the people in our life may not be witnessing us all the time, there is support always. We just have to ask for it. So, saying that she's here with us and here to support that, and that she will be able to, um, you can call on her or ask her to bring those perfect people, the right people, maybe not perfect, ideal, we'll say, into your life and see what happens. Because they say, like, sometimes people come in for a reason, sometimes they stay for a really long time, sometimes they're just for a short period for a lesson you needed to learn, or maybe that they needed to learn. But I like that the right people for me at this time are going to come in. So I extend that out to everyone as well, because like I said, we're all connected. So if it resonates for one, it's going to resonate for another. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, if you're interested in the Soul Journey group coaching membership, I turned it into a membership. That is still, the registration is still open. I only have a few spots open, and that's intentional. But if you do miss it, you can always think about winter. That's going to be awesome too. That's not going to start until the end of December, when things are going to be like totally crazy and hectic for everybody. But anyways, if you have any questions, reach out, let me know. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a fabulous new moon in Libra with that solar eclipse. And I'll try to remember to put it in the description box. Put the link in the description box. I will do that. So I will hopefully see everybody soon. Next Friday, I will be here. We'll be doing our first live Q&A from the Soul Journey group coaching, but it's available to everybody. If anybody has any questions about those themes, again, it'll be in that link that you can click on for the description of the group coaching membership. And then I think there's going to be one Friday I'm not going to be here. I can't remember, but I should be here every Friday at noon Central Time. So wishing everyone well and looking forward to connecting again soon. Take care.